Hi friends and welcome to my channel. So today we are continuing with this inventory series. So right now we have the inventory, so let's open play. So if we go so you can open the inventory, I can close it. And also we can check the text of the item if we press F, so we can see they say hello. So it's working. So let's close this one. So in the last video we create different systems here. So the core, we change this to be more modular, because the way I wanted to do it before, that was really simple. So I want to do this really cool system, so easy to expand, to use it whatever you like, every type of game also. So yeah, so for this video we continue. And also forgive me because I have to go back to my own projects to check how I do this inventory style, because I have a few projects. One of the projects have similar inventory, so I can check back and forth, so see how I do it, because this system, the inventory system, I try to do by myself always, so they take me like a week or something like that to create a good inventory system. And always you can improve it better and better. It's not exactly the same, but we already modify this a little bit, so we can still continue modify. So after this talking, let's continue. So okay, so let's do another one. So we're gonna need the word slot we have in the inventory, because right now we have the item we have and the inventory component. So we need to know, and each slot right now, if we remember, we have 3. So we want to know what have in these slots. Right now it's empty, so let's create a new one. So they're gonna be a blueprint. Go to extractor and call this dp slot in struct, so that way we can modify this in real time. So let's open it, and we're gonna need 2 things here. So first we're gonna need what item it is. So let's go here and call it dp item instructor, I believe. Yes, item instructor. So I'm gonna be this the item we have. So let's call this item slot. I don't know, we can call it like that. And the other one we're gonna need is the quantity we have. For example, if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, because we want to do maybe stackable, so we can have more stuff in just one place. More things is more for the ammunition and things like that. So I think it's the best way to go. So let's add a new one, and let's call the integers, because they're gonna be full complete name number. So let's call here quantity. Yeah, so we can leave it like that, compile, save, and close this. So now we have the system. So now we have to add this slot in the inventory component. So let's do that. Okay, so let's continue. So we're gonna need a few things here. So the first gonna be the inventory slot we have. So let's go to variable. Let's create this inventory slots. So how many slots we have? So that's gonna be, of course, the dp slot structure. So how many we have? There's gonna be only 1, but we wanna add this to make this array, so it's more easy to add more in the real time if we want to add it more slot in the real time. So also gonna be the size of this inventory. So let's add it. Let's create another one, inventory size, maybe. So it's gonna be more easy to know. There's gonna be integer and also a single, because we don't want to be array. So let's compound save. So for example, this one by default is 0, because we want to use this component also for looting boxes, things like that, or enemies, things like that. When they die, we can pick item from them to our inventory. So that is the best way to do it in the component, so it's more easy to add it to everywhere. So yeah, so the inventory size is going to be 0 by default. That's fine. And also you maybe want to change the name. So let's call this inventory name. So the inventory name, they're going to be, of course, a text. So this is the same reason that before. For example, if it's a character, we can put here is a backpack or whatever we want. If it is the enemy we kill, so we can loot it, they're going to be the inventory name, they're going to be enemy blah 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 blah. So I think they're gonna be the best for this stuff. Okay, so we want to, in the gameplay, no, let's create a a function better. So let's get a function here. Let's call it resize inventory. So that way we can modify this. I don't know if it is better, right? Because my English is not perfect, so I hope it's right. If it's not, I can change it later. So get resize inventory. So let's get this slot, and we can call resize. Yeah, I spelled it right. Yes, so resize inventory, and also we want to add the inventory size. So that way we always have the same stuff, because we needed to update this later on. Right now it doesn't matter because we only have 3, but we want to have later more in this area. So for example, if I pick a backpack, we don't want to have 3, we want to have, for example, 12 or 9 or something like that. So yeah, so that's the best for doing that way. So yeah, so let's resize this. So the first time we want to resize it in the begin play. So let's go here, press begin play, equal and resize inventory. So that way, always when they resize the inventory, when they start the game, they check how many they have and the loot, enemy, or the character. So they want to show that slot. So let's save it. So yeah, so let's continue. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna need is add it to the slot we have here, because right now we don't have nothing to add it to the inventory. So it's gonna be a new one here, gonna be called add to inventory. So that way we can add whatever item we want to the inventory, but we want to do this modular. So that's gonna be the best way to do it. So you don't want to call this add to inventory have a lot of coincide, so we're gonna be modular for do that. So we're gonna need to use the data table because we're using the data table in items. So we want to check this name. So depending on this row name we have, that's gonna be the item we want to add to the inventory, right? So let's go to inventory component. Let's go here and let's add input, and the input we want to, they're gonna be a name. This type gonna be a type name. So I think yes, a name. Okay, so let's put it here and let's call this item, or we can call item to add or something like that. I want to say item. That's fine enough. So let's save it. Also remember this is a name, so there's a here row name. I always confused with this one because this one I created, but there is a test only. So okay, so we have this. So from here we're gonna check what we have. So here they wanna drag from here, input row. So they're gonna have a few values, but the one we want is get data table row. So in this one they're gonna be what it is. So in this case you can do this modular also from here, but I know at least in Unreal Engine 4 and 5 right now. So if you do this modular, this data table here, sometimes this no work correctly. So you don't want to have issue later on. Maybe they fix it soon in the Unreal Engine 5. This one is the Unreal Engine 5.2, I remember, if I correct. So yes, so they're gonna I hope they fix it, but for now let's leave it like that. So data table, they're gonna be the item we create. What is this? I don't know. So db item data table. So now we have the row correct what we have. So let's compile and save, and you can do from here, you can split this if you want, but like I always say, if you do it this way, sometimes they're gonna give you error when you update the data table or you update the structures. So for avoiding that, it's better to close this. And from here, let's do a break. Look a little more messy because they have more stuff in here, but it's better for later on because you don't want to have issue later on to update and clean this stuff when you modify the structure. So yeah, so let's compile and save. So let's add this to the slot we have in here. So the next thing we want to do is create a slot here. So for doing that, we want to need another function here. So to doing this more clean, so let's call it create slot. So that way we want to create the slot with the item we want. So the create slot, they're gonna be the item we want to add. So let's add another one here, and this one they're gonna be, let me check my notes. Yeah, so they're gonna be the structure we want here. So let's go structure. So they're gonna be dp item structure. So we want to check what item is inside there or not. So let's in that slot, because if this slot have already an item, we don't want to add it to that slot. We want to pass to another one, right? So let's call this item. How we can do this item to add. Let's go item to add. So that's gonna be the item we want to add it. Okay, so yeah, so we want to do that. So let's get the inventory slot. So the slot we have. So let's do for this loop, but we want to with break because we want to stop this looping, because we don't need to complete all the looping if we already find something. So let's connect this to here. Yes, so we want to, the right element is the slot we have inside here. So the slot we have here is nothing right now, but is the type of the, remember, slot structure. So that's going to be the item that is in that slot. So we want to break this. We want to check how many they are in this inventory. So we can do this more clean. For example, we can disconnect this, so that way we only need the quantity. So so if the quantity is less or equal to 0, because sometimes it's -1, I don't know why, but they can be possible. So to avoid things like that, it's better to put not only equal to 0, but we can be also if it's less to 0. So let's do a branch here. So we want to check if we have already an item there. Okay, so wait, let me check my notes. Okay, so we want to create here we have a space to add it. To doing that, we're gonna use a local variable, because we don't want to fill this stuff, the component with variable, thing like that. We only need in this here. So let's create a new variable. You wanna call it has space. Yes, they're gonna be a boolean, not a text. So if it's true, we want to set this to have space. Oh yeah, and also we want to in what index it is. For example, well, let's create this first. So let's promote this to a variable, local variable. You call it this slot index. And also I like to change this stuff to local, so that way it's more easy for me to find if it's local or no variable. So yeah, so and also I leave it like that. So okay, so we want to do like this because we want to check what index we find. For example, let's play this because it's a little confusing, I know. So let's clean this first. Okay, so this is gonna check first the item you want to add. They want to check first the inventory we have already. There's 3 slots, remember. So they're gonna check the first slot. They're gonna be index 0. So that means if they already have a structure there, that's fine. But if the quantity is 0, so that means they find there is an empty one, they want to add it to they're gonna set, they have a space, and also they want to add it the index we find there is the 0, they want to add the item in that slot. If that slot have something, for example, let's say we have here one healing potion or something like that, or a weapon or something, they want to check if it is true. If it is not true, because we have one pistol here, for example, they want to go false. So that way this loop, they continue to the next array. They want to be 1, the second array, the second number in this array, because remember it's 0 to a number. So they're going to check the 1 again. So if it now they found the 0 quantity in that slot, and that, yeah, so gonna be the second one. So if they find something, they're gonna have a space, and they give me the slot in that they found the empty space. So they're gonna be now 1. I know it's a confusing, but I hope you understand this. You can see this video a few times, you don't understand it, and also, or you can ask me into the Discord. For me it's more easy to respond there. I explain this better. So yeah, so if we found we have a space, we have the slot we needed, we want to stop this, because you don't want to continue looping this without reason, because we already found a space. Also, they're gonna good for performance, because you don't want to continue doing something this you already have what you needed, right? So yeah, so that's gonna be the first step. So let's continue now for the complete state. Okay, so for complete, we want to check if we have hash space. So in hash space, let's say get, let's do a branch here, and let's connect the complete to the branch. So this complete, a lot of people confuse this stuff, because complete is not when they complete all the loop. When they complete whatever is break, or complete the complete loop. For example, if we break in the slot array in the 0, it's already break it and the complete array. If you know they want to complete all the slot, or this slot, we have 3. When they complete 3, the 3 have stuff in it, they're gonna already complete it, and they're gonna go here. So that's the way we can, this complete is both this stuff. Okay, so if we break it or complete it, we want to check if we have a space or not. So if we don't have a space, so that means we don't found nothing at all. So we can get here, we can create a new input here, so that way we can modify this, and we need to change this to a boolean. We can call this, how we can call it, we can set succeeds, for example, for now. So that means if we have a not, if it's false, that means we don't have space, so the succeed is false, so we don't succeed to add it in the slot. So if we found a space, so we can add it to the inventory, we want to set it inside this array. So from this array, let's make here a little space. We want to set array element. So we want this, and probably we want to reroute this like this, right here. So we want to set it, and we want to add the index we found. So that want to be this slot index. So let's do it like this. So let's do more space. Okay, so it's more clean. And the item we want to add, they're gonna be this item to add. So we can drag this, what, slot structure, item structure, that's my bad here. So that's gonna be a slot structure, sorry. So a slot structure, my bad. But this is the item you want to add. So let's gonna add this to here. Okay, yeah, also I have error sometimes. Okay, so let's reroute this a little bit, or we can use call it from here, because if we inside the function, if we call item to add, you have the variable from this one, so it's the same one, so we can be more clean. Yeah, probably have to do this from the beginning. So yeah, it's okay. So let's do this. So let's compile and save. And the next we want to do is the same return node. We want to set succeed with this hash space. We can do it like this. So if they change to true, the one that is to set is not, they're gonna be false. Also, we can add it here, but it's okay. So yeah, we have this function. So let's compile and save. Go back to add to inventory. We can close this, and in here we want to add to inventory. So add to inventory. So add to inventory and the add to inventory. No, sorry. So let's close this. Create a slot. Oh my god, I'm losing my mind sometimes. Okay, so if you found a row, so that means we found an item we want to create here. If you don't find the row, so that means you don't have the item correct in the name here. You don't add the name in this data table. So remember that. So you want to connect. We can connect this to here. No, we don't. So wait, let's break this. No, make, sorry, because the opposite. Yes, yeah, okay. So we want to break it because there's a lot of how many you want it. So you want to add this slot row in here. But let's say, for example, you want to change in real time. You can also disconnect this into another make here. You add it one by one if you want to change something here. But right now we don't need to change nothing of this, so it's better to just connect this to here. It's more clean, I think. Also remember, you can split this if you want. For example, you can split this, but remember, so when you update this a lot, things like that, structures, sometimes they give you errors, so it's better to avoid it this way. Also the quantity you want to add, that depends on how many you added in the item. But right now we're gonna overcode it. It said 1. Because we only have one item. Let's check if I do it correctly. So at the inventory, sorry, it's a little confusing, but yeah. So this is fine because I know, because I check in my notes. So this is the way I do it. Yeah, I don't use this kind of slot in my system, but for this it's better to use it. So let's close this. So this one I'm gonna add to one item. Yeah, I think for now it's gonna be fine. You know what, we can add this to here. So add to inventory, we wanna connect this to here, so that way this quantity we can change it in real time how many items we want to add. I think that's the best way to go with. Okay, so let's compound save and let's test how this is working. So let's go to third person, go to main item. So how I do this? So text item, yeah, I do it here. Yeah, so we want to delete this because we don't want to do it in the test item. We want to do it in the main item. So in the main item, you want to interact actor. We have the player we want, but right now we don't need this. So we want to, oh yes, we want. So we want to do is get inventory component from the player. Remember, we want to add inventory. Add to inventory. I forgot all these names. Oh my goodness. Okay, so add to inventory. How many we want, add the item we want to add, right? So yeah, so now we can add it in here. So in here we want to add the item. So the item we want to add, let's promote this to a variable. So item name, let's promote this to a variable. Also the quantity, let's call item quantity. Item quantity. Okay, so let's do it like this. Compile and save. Yes, so we want to modify this in the test item. So in the test item, we can modify, just right click. Well, yeah, right click is, for example, get a name item. You can get this. Also, for doing more easy, you can always, that's the way I do it. So I put this in here and this in here. I just C, so that when I comment, I'm gonna say something like modify in each child. So that way I know I have to modify this in each child. So yeah, so the way I do it is just copy and pasting here. So that's an easy way to do this stuff. So now you have this. So the item name, we can put here whatever we want. They want to be test item. So let's go to data table and we have the name here. So let's copy or just rename it, put copy. So the green plan, go back to test item. In here you want to paste in here. So green plan and the quantity, whatever you want. So right now let's set 1. Right, so yeah, so compile and save. Now delete this because you don't need it. So let's see if they work. Let's check data table where we have the item. Oh yeah, so we need to fill this. So the item class, we want to add it to our test item. So let's save it. And our test item, we want to change the name to the oh my god, green plan. Okay, so let's go back here. So let's call it rename green plant, like Resident Evil, right? So yes, we need to do this again. So item, let's fix our redirector item. Now we have it. Also for a big error, delete it, put this back there. So let's check it's not too high. Yeah, perfect. So let's test if it's working or not. So let's save it. Let's go play. Let's check. So if I go open my inventory, it's empty. So if I go here, press F, well, it's not working because I don't add it correctly. Oh yeah, what we want to do after we complete this create slot. So let's continue with, yeah, so when we create the slot, we want to get another this, we want to add the output. So we want to connect this, but we don't want to create this. We want to create the success of this because this is gonna be false or we can be true. So depend on whether it is false or true, we want to do something, right? So let's compile and save. So this is the inventory component, remember. So let's go back to the main item. So after we add to inventory, we want to check if it was set. So if it's set, we want to destroy item. So that way, destroy actor. Yeah, so that way they delete it from the game. If it's false, we can leave it there because we don't want to add it to the inventory, right? So let's see how it works now. So let's save it, let's go play. Check first the inventory is empty. So now if I pick up this, it's not working. Why it's not working? Let's bring here, set why is if it's this call or not. So let's check. yes, call. So that means this add to inventory go false. Huh. That's wrong. So let's play. Yeah, they go false. So something in here they give me false. So let's check again. So the row name we want to check here. Let's check if this found correctly. Let's check here. Print string. Because maybe I have this wrong, the name. So let's see. Go here, press F. No, so it's not called. So that means we go correctly to here. So create slot. What I do wrong here? So let's check. So so let's check here. So let's print this print string here to check if it's true or not. Yeah, let's have to debug in this stuff sometimes. So let's see what happened. So let's compile. So let's check. So F. They don't even call it. Okay, we got a problem here. Why? So it's not called this at all. So print string. It's called. So if they found it, maybe because we don't add this. Let's check something. So let's add here one. Let's check something here. So maybe that is the problem. No, it's not the problem. Good, because that is the bad thing to do. Okay, so compound save. So this call. So I want to know why this get error. So let's print this. And we have to do it first here. Also, I need to remember not do that. So let's connect this to here. Okay, so compound save. Let's go play. False. Why they give me false if they're not supposed to give me false because we have a space, because we don't have nothing in the inventory, right? So let's see, maybe the quantity is wrong. Let's check. Let's see if it is called this. They don't even call it. So that means probably this slot, inventory slot. Let's see what it's doing here. Oh yeah. Well, okay. So we don't do it in the big gameplay. Well, we're gonna do it in the big gameplay, and also when the character call it. So let's. Oh my god, sorry. So let's go back to the character. I don't know why I have this stuff. Okay, so this one we can add it to the collection, so that way it's easy to find it. So let's add it in here, so that way always when I press here I have the main stuff we can find. So we want to go this guy, So every time they open the inventory, before they open it, we want to resize it. So let's get inventory component, resize inventory. So that way, let's delete this. Let's check if it is the problem, because we want to rechange this. Yeah, so let's test it. So if I press I3, so if you go here, press F, it doesn't work. Why is not working? Oh my god, because I don't put the inventory size. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, yes, main character, go to inventory component, and we have here 0. Sorry. So we want to change this size to the size we have. There go 3. So this is the modular part I forgot to add. So yeah, so sorry for that. We're gonna need to do this later on. So let's leave it like this. So yeah, so every time you add the inventory component to the character, enemy, or loot, you have to put here how many inventory size we want. So we want, right now we have 3, so it's gonna be 3, and the name gonna be, for example, player. Inventory or something like that. I'm gonna call it player. So you can call the name of your character, for example, you can call it Cloud or Squall or something, whatever you want. So yeah, so now that means we have 3 sides to inventory. So that means in the begin play of this one, they're gonna got the inventory size, it's not 0 anymore, there's 3. They want to resize, because if it's not, they want to be 0, so you don't have inventory, even they show in the HUD widget. Sorry, so let's test it now. So now they're supposed to work. Sorry about that, because it's a weird system. So let's go press F, so now we can pick it up. So yeah, that was my fault. So if I go to inventory, now they don't show here, but at least we have this working. So let's see how we can add it, that image, to the widget. So they're gonna do it in the HUD. So yeah, so let's go to the HUD. Yeah, I'm losing here stuff. So let's go back a few times, go HUD, and here we want to change this. So yeah, so now it's time to modify this stuff. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is update the items image and also the quantity. So for doing that, we want to do a few things, a few modifications to do it better. I was thinking about this to do it more easy to understand and easy, better performance. So let's do that. So we're gonna go back to the main character. When they open the inventory, yeah, when we do open the inventory, we're gonna need a reference from the character. So in here, let's add a new input and call this player. So that way we have the, oh, not that one, this one's gonna be a main character blueprint, it's gonna be object reference. So also they're gonna be player, no end. So okay, player. So let's compound save. So now if we go back to main character blueprint, you can see when they open the inventory, they ask it for reference. The reference is gonna be self. So that way we always have a reference without casting, because you don't want to cast in here. So we have the reference of the player. So let's promote this to a variable. So now we have the variable of the player. Great. So now from the player, when you open the inventory, let's go player. Well, let's do a function for that better. So let's create a function. I want to call the update inventory details of add the inventory items, sound better. And items. Okay, from here we're gonna need the plier, get the plier. We're gonna need get inventory component. So let's do like this. Also let's get a slot, inventory slot. So we're gonna, oops, let's do it like this. So here we're gonna do for each loop, and we want to call this because always later forget. So here when you open the inventory, let's call the inventory items. So they updated because we want to do it only one time every time we open the inventory, right? So yeah, so let's go back to here. So in here, let's check a few things. So I do it in the function because they want to be a little messy here. Probably is better ways to do it, but I old school, so I do it the old fashion way. And also I know 100% they work, so that's why I still doing it. Even they probably is better way to do it, more performing by the same performing stuff. So let's do it. So in the array index, we want to check first what it is this. So this if it's equal to 0. So let's do a branch. So let's do for each loop. So if it's 0, we want to get the item image. So this one is the, remember, this is the slot item. So let's check again. So we have in here slot overlay, we have item image 1, item image 2. So that means it's 0, 1, 2. So that is the numbers. So because remember, they always real go from 0 to the number you want. So 0 they're gonna mean 1. So okay, so the item image, we want to set brush from texture, yeah, from texture. So if d is 0, we want to check here. Let's break it because I told you it's gonna be a little messy. So they're gonna break this. So I want to check the quantity. So if the quantity is equal, no, it's greater, so some better, it's greater than 0. So that means at least 1. So if it's true, wait, yeah, oh, we can do it better, more clean. So in this texture, we want to do select. So that when we want to select, depend on what is this. So the wildcard, they're gonna be this boolean. So, oh my gosh, stop. There you go. So yeah. So if this is 0, so that means this is false because it's not greater than 0, so it's 0. So it's false. We want to use this image. So I do it like this, so it's very easy for me to paste in here. So if it's false, I want to paste it. If it's true, I want from this item slot, I want to break it. I only gonna need the image. So let's connect image to true and delete everything. So it's gonna be more clean because there's gonna be a lot of stuff here. So we wanna do it like this. So that's gonna be for the first one. To the second one, we want to do the same. So they're gonna be, if this falls, so that means it's not 0, we want to do another branch. So let's connect to this. So that means this is equal to 1. Oops, 1. So if it's equal to 1, we want to do almost the same. So we want to get the image 1, separate from texture. So let's copy it so it's more faster. You want to connect, if it's true, to this one. And you want to do the same stuff but to do it more faster, I think I can connect this together. Yes, so perfect. So I don't need to do this over and over again. So yeah, so that's gonna be it. So that's gonna be for 2, and we have another one. So let's copy paste. Let's go this equal to, oh my gosh, 2. So this gonna be 2. So if it's 2, this gonna update the new one. So we want to do this again. They're gonna be image 2. This one go to the texture, it's true, go to this one. So like that. So let's compile and save. So yeah, I think is correct. So let's see. Yeah, let's check first. Okay, so let's go. Before the play, let's put a few more this one. So let's out, because I'm thinking in advance to check this. So let's go play. So now if we go to inventory, we have nothing because they check is nothing there. So if I pick up this, I press I, you can see I have that item. If I press this one and this one, now we have in 3 of these. So it's working. So if I for 4, they're not supposed to add the 4 one, I think. Let's check. So if I go here, press 1, 2, 3, 4, you see I can pick up the 4 because we don't have enough stuff. So yeah, so we have these 3. So this working. So now we want to update the numbers. So they're gonna be the same, but we're gonna use the item from this one, because I think we make it this pixel, right? Collapse. So we want to bind this later on. So yeah, but for now, let's go here. So let's get the, oh my god, so let's get these guys. So the text, they're gonna be the same. So that's gonna be the item slot 1. So it's gonna be item quantity. So this is variable. So we want to copy because we want to change these names for the same, but they can be the 1. So I can put 1 there, variable, and the 2 we want to do the same one, 2. So compile and save. Okay, so let's go graph again. So here, okay, let's do the system again. So we want to get their item quantity. So that's gonna be first set text to text. So gonna be this one, and the number you want is this quantity. And you can do this twice. So we're gonna need it for this one and from this one. So now the item quantity is 1, the item quantity is 2, item quantity is, why is not, okay. Image type, what? Why do? Oh my god, I think I changed. Yeah, oops. Okay, so item image 2. So this one gonna be item quantity 2. Sorry about that. So yeah, oops. Okay, so here let's do one more, item quantity 2. Sorry. So let's connect this to here, and this gonna be all this stuff. Yeah. And also let's go to these numbers and let's change this collapse. So this collapse, let's bind it. We want to check if how we can do this. Okay, let's do it for now like this. Later we can do this on because they're gonna be confusing. They're gonna be too complicated for now. So let's delete this for now. So let's put 0. We can do remove the binding. Okay, so that's gonna be self-challenge, I think. So let's go back here. Let's do the same. So it's gonna be 0. Visible, they're gonna be this one. This one gonna be the same. It's gonna be 0. So let's see how this look. So let's go play. Go to inventory. You can see 0, 0, 0. So if I pick up this, gonna be oops, this. Here we have 1, 1, 1. So it's working. So yeah, so this is gonna be it for now. Just remember, if you for doing this way, you have to do this for the maximum slot you want to add it. Right now I have 3 because that's the only I have right now. So I go you can see we have 3, but for example in my system they can be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 probably. So they're gonna be 15 the maximum we want. So we want to add this to the 15 ones. So that way the system is already down for the 15, even we don't use all the stuff, because right now we're only using 3. So in the next video probably I wanna do this to have all the probabilities, how many inventory size gonna be, and disconnect this stuff depend on how many you have. So that's gonna be for the next video, I think, to making this video pick up a backpack or something to give you more size of the inventory. I think that is the way the Myth do it. Another game like World War Z, I think they do it that way too. Yeah, so yeah, Days C also. So yeah, so probably gonna do that road. So I know this is old school. Probably is a better way to do this, but I know for 100% this is working perfectly fine. So and also optimized. So I use this a lot in a lot of the projects. So this is how they work. So yeah. So that's gonna be it for this video. So if you want to support me, you can go to my Ko-fi page and you can donate just $1 if you want, or you can be a subscribe to the Ko-fi page. If you subscribe, you're gonna have exclusive stuff. For example, you can watch this video before publishing the channel, and also you can download the project file from the inventory system like this one, or the GTAs, and the runner, anything like that. So like I always said, thank you for watching. I see you in the next video. So bye bye.